Continue. Number 12. Kitzur now discusses the parameters of who is considered toshav, a resident, and who is considered the oreach, a guest. So let's see. Who is a guest? Who is a resident? Definition. In regard to this law, a person is considered a resident when he pays a permanent, when he has a permanent house here in the town, even if he is not required to pay taxes, or if he pays taxes, even if he does not reside there. So taxes, I think it's a Jewish tax. It's not a government tax, the way I understand, right? So two conditions: whether he has a house and he lives there, even if he does not pay taxes. So there is some exclusions. Some people do not pay taxes. I mean, if he's a Torah scholar, so I don't think he pays taxes, right? Or he pays taxes, but he does not live there. I mean, maybe it's like his second house. However, somebody who comes here from another locale, right? From another locale, to recite Kaddish for his father or mother, who resides here in this town, even though the parents, residents of this town, as per the previous guidelines. Nevertheless, since the son does not live or pay taxes there, he is not considered a resident. So it's very interesting. So his parents live in there, but he does not. So he comes there to say Kaddish for his father, let's say. So he does not get any special treatment. Because why? He does not live there, or he does not pay taxes. Okay, let me admit. Right. So he's not resident, that does not pay taxes. Okay. 1 second. Okay, continue. If a member of the community has retained a tutor or an attendant, meaning there is a person in that town, and he has I would say that live in like help, right? This attendant, I don't know, like a servant, I think, and tutor or tutor for his children. So basically, in the olden days, there was no yeshiva, no yeshiva like in a sense we know today. So what people who could afford, they would hire somebody knowledgeable, more or less, right, to teach their children, and this person would live in the house of the host, right? So that's what it is. So I mean, he does not pay taxes. This tutor, let's say, right, and he it's not his permanent dwelling, right? So what do we do? So that's the situation. If they are unwed, okay, they are considered to be local residents. Interesting. So let's see commentary. Although the source of the private individual, since there are no other place to call home, they consider residents. So very interesting. So if this guy, let's say, is a single guy, right? So even though he's just a tutor and he does not pay taxes, and I mean he just lives here, not in his parents' house, let's say. Since he's single, so his house is here, right? So we consider him as local resident. So in the contrary, so we can say that if he's married and let's say he went for 6 months away from his house to make this money to tutor somebody else's children, so his house is there, right? Because wife is in Torah calls a house, right? Continue. However, if they have wives in another town, here we go, they consider to be guests. So because his house is there, he is going there. Somebody who is a student at the local yeshiva, and similarly a tutor who is employed by several members of the community, although they may have wives living elsewhere, they are considered residents of the town. Okay, so let's see commentary. Why is that? A person and these persons are not merely passing through town, but they are here for an extended stay, as they are not only in the stories of the single individual, they are deemed residents. So basically, this person in olden days, so people would go to yeshiva and stay there in the town for some time. So basically, even if this person is married, the famous example, of course, Rabbi Akiva, right? So he's married, his wife is there, but he is here. But since he's in yeshiva, it's considered to be extended period of time. So he's like local residents, or when somebody is serving several families, this tutor guy. Very interesting. Question?
Yes, I have one before continuing.
Yes.
At one of the last classes about the Kaddish, I think the Kaddish is skipped if no mourners attend the shul. They skip the Kaddish, is that right?
Oh, okay, so he's a good question. So the question is, there are different conditions. There are conditions that say it says by the Chazan, the one who prays, the leader of the congregation, and that's not what we're talking about. That's a separate Kaddish. So we are talking about here the mourner's Kaddish, right? The Rabbanan or the mourner's Kaddish. So the tradition is, so people they don't want to bring ayin haram upon them, like bad eye. So if you don't have anybody that passed away, so why send Kaddish? So people would turn back and look at this guy. Maybe somebody might die. Maybe his mother has special, like his father died. You understand? Maybe his brother died. Why he sent Kaddish? So that's exactly the reason we try to avoid. But some elderly people who do not care or whatever, so they actually anyway they say, even though there is no one passed away. It's like a service for the community, right? Why? So everybody can answer Amen Yehei Shmei Rav. That's the thing. So, but you're right. In most of the shuls, I don't want to say, I would say 50-50. In some shuls, they say anyway, somebody would say, like Rabbi would say, like when Rabbi does things, it's different. You understand? So everybody knows that he's saying for community. And usually rabbis would say the Kaddish, Rabbi of the shul would say Kaddish for the people who cannot say themselves. Or for example, a woman lost her husband, so she cannot say the Kaddish. So she would ask Rabbi, pay him money so he can say Kaddish. You understand? But in some shul that I go, there is no rabbi. Okay, so there is no rabbi. So I mean, there is no person who would say Kaddish. So there is almost always someone who say, but not always, not in every shul. It is true, yeah, not in every shul. You understand? So for example, if you pray in yeshiva, all of the boys, nobody would say Kaddish. God forbid. That's a bad omen. So he's a young fellow, he has parents. Why would he say Kaddish? Like, you normal? You understand? And plus, the parents would protest for sure.
So taking into account this, so how it's in the opposite, how the rest of the members realize that someone has a relative who has passed away. Where do they announce this?
Oh, you usually in a shul they announce after davening or before that. They say, gentlemen, that's what happened. This family lost their father, brother, mother, child, God forbid, or somebody. So we have always announcement going on, always. So I mean, maybe in a huge shul, 500 people, they would not know. But I mean, where I pray, it's small shuls, maybe, I don't know. In a weekday, maybe tops like 25-30 people. That's it, tops. So, I mean, 30 people, the rabbi would announce.
For example, I was in my mind with every shur of Rab Yaron Reuven, because at the beginning of the shur, he makes several announcements. For example, ask for refuah shlema, several blessings, and maybe in that time they announce someone has a relative.
Not during shiur. It would like take people's mind from the point. It's not necessary. Plus, they do not care. They did not know what we're talking about, who we're talking about. But in a shul, it's a local person. He's been praying with you for the past 5 years. So he lost his mother. So everybody would call him, come over and extend his condolences and stuff like that.
Because one time I watched a shiur of Rabbi, and when it was about to finish, the people behind were preparing for the davening already. So then I was thinking if in that moment of the shiur they may announce the passing away of someone there during the shiur.
Okay, maybe. I don't know. Okay, so continue.
Yeah.
So basically the answer is maybe yes, maybe no. So if it's a younger crowd, they would not say. Older crowd, they might say. But I mean, nobody wants to say, but everybody wants to answer me. Okay, so continue. However, if the orphan has either a father or a mother living in another locale, even if he is being raised locally as an act of charity, he's considered a guest. So meaning the person is an orphan, but he has mother or father in another place. Maybe they cannot, they're very poor, so they send him away. So, but that house is still his house. So orphan, we had a class today, and somebody said that like, where do you draw the line with this orphans, right? I mean, all of the elders. So I told them, so look, we have to draw the line. Otherwise, all of the elderly people would be orphans, right? If somebody is 60 years old, 70 years old, for sure his or her parents died, right? Or most likely died. So, but this person is not orphan. So the orphan is only until the age that they can start taking care of themselves. So it depends on the person. So maybe, I don't know, 20 years old. Some are more mature. They independent. They're 17, 18 years old, right? So it depends. But its orphan status is not forever. Okay, continue. It was very interesting discussion. So continue. Number 13. Next, see. One who is regularly prays in one synagogue or study hall, who wishes to recite Kaddish in another synagogue, the mourners who regularly pray there may turn him away. So basically, it's one more time. If I've been praying here for 50 years, even 2 years, and this guy comes from another shul and he wants to say Kaddish, let's say I'm not talking about modern day, but in olden days, right? So why should he say instead of me, right? Okay, so he's a regular in that shul. He comes to my shul, so I have precedence. Just one. So the mourners who regularly pray, they may turn him away. So we're not obligated to be nice to the guest instead of in expense of the of the resident. We don't do that, even if he's within the shiva. So this person came from to another not to his local, to another shul, and he's a shiva meaning 7 days. So we're not obligated to give him Kaddish. For his status is less than that of the guest. Okay. For the guest has no other place to pray and recite Kaddish while he does. So it's very interesting explanation. Let's read the commentary. It's amazing explanation. Since he has other options, he may not impose himself on those who regularly pray in a synagogue. It's unbelievable. So they say there are two different scenarios. So this guy, he's from the neighborhood, right? But he usually goes to his shul, and now he decided to go to our shul for whatever reason. Maybe the time of the praying in my shul suits him better. Okay, right? And there's a guest. Guest meaning guest. He's visiting somebody, right? So that's the only place that he knows. Like they told him he's a shul around the corner, so he comes to the shul. He prays in our shul. So we should give him something because that's it. That's the only place. But the guy who came from another shul to my shul, I mean, he can go back to his shul and say Kaddish. Why should we give him the precedence? Interesting. Okay, I mean, very logical explanation, I think. Okay, so let's continue.